Welcome back to my shop and my channel and the continuation of the shop rebuild and the west wall. This is the west wall. Cabinets are done, chop saw is in place, it's been aligned, it's been set up, it's ready to go. I've been using it already, as a matter of fact. I haven't got a dust collection on it yet, but I've been using it. So, to speed things up a little bit, I've got all the hide plywood cut out for this cabinet that's going here. And I have the little feet, my adjustable feet right here. And I have the 2x4s, they're going to make up the base right here. Oh yes, this, I'm going to have the pullouts, which are just half-inch pieces of plywood, are going to be put in with these generic kind of builder grade drawer glides. You don't need the expensive double bearing drawer glides for a project like this. It's just a waste of money. The shelves are going to be 22 inches deep. These are about 11, 12 inches deep, so they're going to come all the way out anyway. Funny thing about buying these, got them off Amazon. I bought them in bulk, about 3 boxes of them. It says right in the description, no screws, screws not included. It says down in the lower description, I think it also says there, screws not included. Some of the questions asked, does it have screws? No, there are no screws. Be surprised how many people gave them 1 to 2 stars because, hey, there were no screws. Reading is fundamental. So now I want to get that base built, and I'm going to mount the glides onto the banging noises. I'm going to mount the glides onto the dividers ahead of time. And I think you can figure out why, because you don't want to be climbing inside a cabinet trying to put these glides in, especially when you've got creaky bones. So that's going to happen. They're going to be held into the base and the top top piece with pocket hole screws, and as I mentioned earlier, the outside pocket screws here and the outside pocket screws here go this way. The rest of them go any way they want. It'll be pocket screws, top and bottom. I'll square it up with a small piece of wood in the back just to give it a square, and then I'll go get the birch top that's going to go on top of that, cut it to the way I want it, and that'll get fastened to the wall. We're done with that. Interesting little factoid that I neglected to pay any attention to or remember. Garage door floors are sloped from back to front. So I don't know what the gain is, but there's a slope going from the back of the garage all the way to the front doors. Which means all this stuff here was going on a slope. Well, I've eliminated that. I've got them perpendicular to gravity. So they're going to be all the way across level all the way across this way. I mean, at this point here, it's like 39 inches high. I'm 6'3", that's fine. Mara's okay with it too. So let's get started on this by building the frame and putting the feet and the bottom on and drilling the holes. And here's the base assembled, 2x4s and the holes. And this is where my 5mm ball end hex key can go down in and make the adjustments up and down. Time to put the glides onto the dividers. Now I've already done one. This one here is the one that is on the left side of the cabinet. It's facing the left side, so it has glides this way with the in and out on this side. This is where you have to, oh, by the way, different day, can you tell? This is where you have to remain cognizant of what's what and where's what. So what I'm doing now is the corresponding one to the right. So it needs the right side or other side glides on them, starting from the top, which in this case is here. In this case, in the other one, the top was here. This one, the top is here. Yeah, I know. It's confusing, right? So I started this earlier and wound up having the wrong screws and had to acquire the correct screws, which I have, which are little flatheads. They're 5/8 number 6s. And this is my gauge, by the way. It has the separation between the glides that I need, which in this case, to have the final separation between the shelves, this is 4.5 inches. That takes into account the the hang down of the holders for the shelves and the thickness of the shelves. So I've got the 5 inches that I want between the shelves for the, which is tall, is more than I need. I mean, those hardware containers aren't 5 inches tall. I just want a little bit room, so that's in place. Now I'd move the gauge down like this, and line it up with this side, the bottom of the glide, and bring the next glide up to it, and that sets my separation. Like I said, I had the wrong screws originally, so there are some pre-drilled holes here. Three screws per, should be fine. And then, again, move the gauge, next glide gets put into place, and you mount it. Okay, so that's basically how I'm doing it. I'll continue on and do all the rest of the dividers. Again, remaining cognizant of which side is which and which glides need to go where, as far as this is concerned. And after that, then we can do the assembly, the beginning assembly on the cabinet itself. And that should be interesting because I have to assemble it on the floor and then push it back into place because I need to be able to get to the pocket hole screws on the outsides. So I will continue on and mount up all of my glides. That was finicky. Getting those so they were at the same level on either side, just a little bit off and it would throw everything off. So I got those done. It was not fun, and it was fun at the same time. So what I've done is I've got this is supposed to be 18 inches apart on the inside. If you can't see it in camera, I've got a piece of 18-inch plywood which I have fastened to the base, and I've got my space here for the first divider to go in. Now, we all know from using pocket holes, if you don't fasten your workpieces down, the workpiece will wander or move as you screw your pocket holes in. That's why I'm doing it this way, so that I can get, stand up, so I can get the workpiece, or this side, to stay right where it is when I put it in place. Change bits, long bit, yep. So I can hold this up like this and get there. That's going to work fine. I want to do one side first because the plywood has a little bow in it. Okay, I was fighting with that a little bit just to get this to stand up straight. This one's in fine. But what I've done is I've clamped it at the bottom. You can see one clamp here, there's another one on the other side, to the 18-inch piece of plywood spacer I've got here. So now it's standing stable and where it needs to be, and it's at the edge where it needs to be. So I will now go and put the longer screws in and fasten it in place. Okay, remove the clamps. Now it stays where I want it to stay. It'll all get aligned when I put the top on. It has to get aligned so it's all, perpendicular to everything. Any variances can be made up in the width and the mounting position. Any variances can be made up with the plywood platforms that are going to slide in and out of here. I don't think that's going to be an issue. So let me get these screws out of here. Let's see if I can actually get this piece of plywood out. Here we go. So that spacing is correct. And now I'll put it down here. And I'll use the same technique. I'll clamp the next vertical between here and here so that it will stand upright as I put in the pocket hole screws. So I'll continue on, finish putting these uprights in, put the top on, get it all aligned, put a web on the back to prevent it from doing this, back and forth, and slide it against the wall, and then we'll start with the top and the shelves that are going to slide in and out. And it's in place. I have a confession to make. I initially cut all these parts for 24 inches deep when my drawing said 22 inches deep. So I had all the dividers in, and when I realized that, so this morning, different day of course, this morning I had to take it all apart and cut 2 inches off of everything. That only took me an hour because I just ran it through my table saw. And I wasn't anywhere near the metal, so don't be concerned about my saw stop. The top here is a Home Depot butcher block countertop, unfinished. It's these both are birch, and it's about 1/8 of an inch below here, so I have to jack it up. I mean, it's level front to back and side to side. I just have to bring it up level with the chop saw here and then re-level it here. I'm going to do the shelves off camera, put all the hardware in there, and then in the beginning of the next video I hope to have it, I can just demonstrate that. But a change of plan. So in the interest of logistics and making room to do things and move stuff around, it behooves me to put the new dust collector up in place between the doors and getting that big honkin' ass dust collector I've got over there out of the shop, because it takes up a hell of a lot of space. And so that's going to happen next, not moving the workbench to the table saw. After the dust collector is up, then we'll do that. That'll make my life a little bit easier. So I guess that's it for now. So until next time, make wonderful things out of wood. Neaten up your shop if you so are inclined, or whatever. Until next time, later.